In this world, through awakening and persuasion, different races can summon beasts. Each powerful race manifests the visual form of the beast they summon. Some people awaken in the form of a dress, summoning dragon-like scales, becoming the masters of the sky. Others awaken in the form of a bird, summoning the immortal flame and the four-legged phoenix, establishing an immortal kingdom. Some awaken in the form of a snake, summoning the giant-like form. As for me, I have awakened the strongest persuasion, surpassing the god level. Yet I have been mocked by everyone as useless, simply because my persuasion takes the form of an ordinary book. Despite the fact that it is a super level, they still consider me a person who cannot respond to desire, labeling me a non-believer. However, what they don't know is that this book is the Sun High King, capable of fulfilling all the desires of ancient China. Now, I stand deep in the jungle, where the construction of the awakening ritual is nearly complete. This is a world where evil forces invade, causing deep-seated phoenixes to appear worldwide. Every person, before their university studies, must undergo the awakening ritual. Only through this ritual can one become a monk and summon a powerful companion to resist the terrifying disasters caused by these deep-seated phoenixes. However, in this world, Long Quoc, due to the destruction of civilization in ancient times, suffers from a shortage of monks. These monks, incapable of withstanding the powerful forces from the ancient era, have made Long Quoc the laughingstock of the powerful nations around the world. At this moment, my friend Lu Duang sits before me, asking, "Fam Ca, what level of persuasion do you think you will awaken?" Without hesitation, I answer firmly, "The strongest level." The levels of persuasion are divided into Pham, Huyan Pham, Hoang Pham, Dia Pham, Thien Pham, Tien Pham, and then Pham. When I arrived in this world, I brought with me a yellow stone, on which it was written that it could help me awaken the strongest level of persuasion. I just used this stone. So if I awaken the strongest level, it must be then Pham. A group of classmates nearby overheard me and immediately laughed. The level of persuasion? Someone really dares to say it. I used to think that if I mastered the theory, I could awaken the persuasion level. I remember there are fewer than 10 masters at this university who have awakened the persuasion level. It's truly a daydream. Laughable. Hearing this, Lu Duang's face darkened. However, he still encouraged me. Pham Ca, I believe you can definitely awaken the persuasion level. Give it a try. Unfortunately, his encouragement was just filled with flattery and insincerity. I looked at them as though they were fools, no longer caring. At the same time, the level of persuasion on the ground floor was completed. Soon after, a few masters from the Master Encyclopedia Association began organizing the students to practice the level of persuasion. The students were called in turn to enter the awakening circle and practice their persuasion skills. The awakening process quickly passed the halfway mark. Sadly, the highest level attained so far was only persuasion level C at that point. The awakening master, Ho Len, and Lu Nuyen left the class. All eyes were on Lu Nuyen, a girl who had already been dubbed a genius. Not only was she stunningly beautiful, a goddess in the hearts of all the boys at school, but her parents were also known for their genius-level persuasive abilities. It's important to understand that the effectiveness of one's persuasion is closely linked to their parents' abilities. If the parents' persuasion level is low or the basic level of awakening is unremarkable, it is incredibly difficult for the next generation to awaken any level of persuasion. On the other hand, if the parents possess high levels of persuasion, the chances of the next generation awakening a high level of persuasion are much greater. Because of this, Lu Nuyen's awakening was eagerly anticipated by everyone. Everyone expected her to awaken a genius-level persuasion ability. As she stood in the awakening formation, she turned her head towards the east, where a forest lay. In her third year, she had always outshone everyone in the theoretical tests of the master's thesis. Finally, today had come, the day of her persuasive awakening. I had to surpass her. I had to. As the awakening formation activated, 7 rays of light shone brightly, accompanied by the hoarse cry of a phoenix. A massive black phoenix-shaped orb appeared in the sky. The 7 rays of light surrounded the phoenix-shaped orb. This was the product of the Bok Du Kai Vong, the phoenix of persuasion. Chuang Kwok Fu, Lun Yu Yen's main teacher, was immediately taken aback. He then chuckled. Haha, Lao Tu, did you see that? The best student in your class, Duong Pham, has been at the top of the school every time he tried. But Lun Yu Yen, my student, has awakened to the highest level of persuasion. How can your students compare with mine? At this point, the awakening master announced the result. Lun Yu Yen, persuasion level, Genius SS Cup. The entire room was immediately filled with excitement. Everyone knew that Lun Yu Yen had exceptional parents. Moreover, she was incredibly hardworking, so it was highly likely she would awaken to a genius-level persuasion ability. But no one expected her to directly awaken the SS Cup level of persuasion. This was truly surprising. It seemed that parents were more important than effort. Even the awakening master, usually silent, showed rare appreciation. Good. Very good. Girl, keep going. The future of this university will be built on talents like you. Lun Yu Yen heard the praise and bowed to the master, saying, Thank you, master, for your compliment. I will definitely work hard to improve my abilities and live up to the expectations of the university. After that, she stepped out of the awakening formation. The crowd was buzzing with excitement as they watched Duong Pham. Cone, this time you will definitely lose, they whispered. Just then, the awakening master shouted, Duong Pham, step forward. This call immediately shocked to Thien Quoc, my main teacher. His hands clenched tightly, and the students in the line all turned to look at me. Everyone's eyes were fixed on me. A mixture of curiosity, sympathy, and amusement in their expressions. Although I had always outperformed Lun Yu Yen in the theoretical tests. Good theory doesn't guarantee a successful awakening. My parents had never awakened as masters, and that fact weighed heavily on me. Trung Quoc Fu, Lun Yu Yen's main teacher, couldn't contain his mockery. Haha, Lao Tu, the best student in your class is about to awaken the master. I can't wait to see how he'll do, he said, laughing. Thien Quoc ignored him, but his eyes betrayed a quiet prayer, hoping I could awaken successfully. Perhaps even to the Thien Fu level. I stepped into the awakening formation, and in the blink of an eye, the entire school seemed to shake with energy. The classroom trembled as well. What's happening? What's going on? Voices murmured in confusion. Hurry, look, 12 awakenings are lit up, someone cried out in disbelief. Oh my god, 12 awakenings. Could it be a ghost? The sudden change in the awakening method scared everyone. Shock filled the room, as if the world was about to collapse. It's important to note that so far, the highest number of awakenings had been 7, representing the strongest blessing, with 7 awakenings not yet fully lit. Even the masters in charge of the awakening were filled with doubt. Was the awakening process wrong? What was going on? Thien Quoc was so shocked that his eyes turned red. He quickly turned to Trung Quoc Fu, who had been mocking his students. Old Trong, how are my students doing? He asked, his voice trembling. This is really a bit much, Trung Quoc Fu said, his face turning red. He sighed for a long time without speaking further. A long silence followed as the crowd, still stunned, could hardly believe their eyes. It was at this moment that 12 rays of light shot straight into the sky. Then, slowly, a giant orb appeared. This was the sign of the appearance of the blessing. Everyone gasped in awe, staring up at the sky above the awakening formation, all hoping to see the blessing that would be revealed. The orb's shape was still blurry at first, but over time, it became clearer. It was a book. Once the shape of the book became clear, all the students below fell silent. Even the experienced awakening masters were moved to tears, collapsing to the ground in disbelief. It is known that after the blessing appears, the orb usually recalls a shape. This was why, just moments ago, when Lun Yu Yen awakened, a giant black phoenix had appeared in the sky. But this time, above the formation, there was no orb, only a white-gray book. The crowd, seeing this, realized what was happening. In everyone's minds, the same thought emerged. The probability of awakening the blessing is 30%. But within that 30%, there is nearly a 70% chance of awakening a blessing that cannot be recalled. The ancient book appearing clearly in the sky was not in line with the characteristics of the blessing that could be recalled. Thus, it was almost certain that this was the blessing. A moment later, the light from the awakening formation gradually faded, signaling the end of the awakening process. At this point, the entire village fell into a profound silence, with only the sound of breath remaining. Everyone waited in anticipation for the priest to announce the results. The priests exchanged uncertain looks. Then a priest stepped forward and announced, "Duong Pham, bless the product, SSS cup, but awaken the blessing." At the priest's announcement, the scene went silent for a moment. And then laughter erupted. The awakening result, SSS cup, was truly unprecedented. Trung Quoc Phu, hearing that I had awakened the blessing, continued to mock. "Ha ha, Lao Tu, I was right. The students in your class are truly sly." To Thien Quoc, at that moment, had a pale face, his hands clenched tightly from the pressure, his fingers digging into his palm. My awakening, which had turned into the blessing's product, had unfolded as Trung Quoc Phu had hoped. But it couldn't be recalled. The union priests also exhaled in shock. When they saw me awaken the blessing with such grandeur, they thought the great hall was about to rise. But unexpectedly, I awakened the blessing, and they were left with regret. They thought it was a waste to let such a high-class product go to waste. If it had been Yen, she would have bit her lip and looked towards the east, where I had gone. At that moment, there was no joy of victory in her heart, only a sense of regret and incomprehension. Perhaps she felt sympathy for me. Even though I had awakened the blessing, I felt a little uncomfortable inside. After returning to my room, I immediately opened the information sheet of the priest. Upon seeing it, I was shocked. The highest class product of the blessing wasn't a star product. I thought about it for a long time, but couldn't understand why. Then, my eyes fell back on the SSS class heaven, the god of ancient martial arts. The god of ancient martial arts had previously been able to increase the power of the owner and the master tenfold. This high-class heaven combined with my powerful blessing product, how could I not soar? Meanwhile, the students around me began to whisper, "Oh, how pitiful. He has awakened the blessing. No wonder it's still a blessing product. Even heaven is SSS class. It's tragic." A group of students, sympathetically but full of judgment, looked at me with pity. I stared at them like they were fools and then ignored them. At that moment, my teacher came over to comfort me. "Don't be sad. Awakening the blessing depends on luck. I believe in your abilities at school. Even if you don't become a master, you'll still have a bright future." In my heart, though, I still worried about what the blessing product could bring back from Sun Hai King. So, I seized the opportunity to find a way to escape from the SSS. "Teacher, I'm fine. How about you? I suddenly feel a stomach ache. Please allow me to go home." When I arrived home, I immediately used the skill to call upon the blessing. At once, I heard a low rumbling sound. A black circle appeared before my eyes. And soon, a snake-like creature emerged. Its body was red, like fire, and it had a massive form, glowing with a magical light. The divine light surrounded its eyes, which twinkled like stars in a swirling circle. At that moment, far away, in the holy temple of the Kingdom of Heaven, in the tranquil capital, a roar of thunder reverberated throughout the temple. At the same time, a beam of light blindingly shot into the sky. After that, hundreds of high-ranking and low-ranking monks and nuns ascended from the ground to the top of the bell tower and made their way back to the temple. In the highest position of the temple, among the senior monks and nuns, a new monk appeared. This monk's head resembled a snake's body, similar to a dragon, part serpent. His eyes were as bright as the sun, casting a radiant light that made the temple feel slightly gloomy, almost as if it were daylight. A new SSS-level monk had appeared, increasing the value of the Kingdom of Heaven by 1,000 points. Immediately after, on a stone tablet, the value of the Kingdom of Heaven was recorded at the highest position of the temple, marking the appearance of this new monk, which caused the value to increase by 1,000 points. Quickly, A group of monks and nuns from all over the capital rushed into the temple of the Kingdom of Heaven. Once again, on top of the tablet, another SSS-level monk appeared, adding another 1,000 points to the value of the Kingdom of Heaven. Oh my god, maybe I'm getting old and my eyes are failing me, someone muttered. The Kingdom of Heaven was tied to the fate of the Great Hall. And now it seemed that the Great Hall was about to gain a powerful monk. The Temple of the Kingdom of Heaven, as its name suggests, is closely connected to the destiny of the entire Great Hall. The main temple in the capital, along with branches in the other 13 provinces, not only records the fate of the Great Hall but also the powerful monks who are brought to the head of the temple. These monks are all at least S level. Every time a monk is brought to the head of the temple, the fate of the Great Hall increases. This fate not only enhances the strength of the monks brought into the temple but is also crucial for the survival of the nation. Each monk at the head of the temple increases the fate by 1,000 points. Even experienced old masters like us have never heard of such a thing. At this moment, the people at the head of the Great Hall, usually calm, were filled with excitement to the point of jumping up. It was easy for people to investigate. They would even go so far as to strip every monk of their robes to find out who had summoned this SSS-level monk. Meanwhile, I had no idea that summoning such a powerful monk would cause such a commotion among the leaders of the Great Hall. Now, I was checking the nature of the monk I had summoned, Truck Long. After reviewing it, I was extremely surprised. This was the strength enhanced by the SSS-level god of martial arts. It was amazing that even a level 1 monk could possess such a high spiritual nature. I couldn't imagine any monk at the same level being a match for him. After the shock wore off, my heart filled with excitement. The Great Hall, the most prestigious school in the realm. I was here. Bang T. Wait for me. I will definitely compete in the Great Hall and find you. Duong Bang is my aunt. Although my parents passed away when I first arrived here 5 years ago, Duong Bang has always cared for me like a brother ever since. Her support has deeply touched me. A year ago, with the help of the SSS-level god of martial arts, Duong Bang was selected by Thien Long Academy. At that moment, I swore to myself that I would definitely compete in the #1 school of the Great Hall to find her. The next day, I woke up early and made my way to the training grounds for new students. According to the rules of the Monk University, each student of Thuk Tin Tu Phuc has 1 week to challenge the new student training. After that week, the Monk University Unification Competition will be held nationwide. To enter prestigious universities, you must reach at least level 7. As for Thien Long Academy, the top school I wanted to compete in, the requirement is that students must be above level 10. It turns out that Duong Pham didn't have bad luck after all. Why was he here? Who knows? Maybe his side of Tu Phuc can also respond. It's possible. Anyway, it's Tu Phuc's product. Hurry up and find him to form a team. If it's difficult to enter the department, we'll have to let our daughter protect him. A group of girls were focused on me as I arrived. They all looked bored and tried to avoid me, as if afraid of getting into trouble. At the same time, Lu Nyu Yen, the goddess surrounded by countless boys, saw me being mocked by everyone. Normally, I would feel indifferent. After all, we used to be rivals. Now, I was so far away from them, it was almost a bit pitiful. Then, Lu Nyu Yen arrogantly pushed through the crowd and said, "Hey, you lost. You just need to apologize to me at the end. I'll form a team with you and take you to the high-level department." As soon as she said that, the people around me immediately began to laugh at me, especially the boys, who were so jealous that they nearly burst into tears. The goddess had taken the initiative to invite Duong Pham, the so-called unlucky name from the governor's province. On what basis? I looked at Lu Nyu Yen, who was as arrogant as a swan, and calmly shook my head. No need. The department is open, I'll go in first. What a joke. The enemy I summoned was Truck Long Sulfur Monosulfide level. Why would I need to form a team with anyone else? Right at that moment, the department opened for new students. A beam of light flashed up, and I disappeared, leaving behind a group of shocked people. After the boys, who were desperate to win Lu Nyu Yen's favor, pushed me aside, they were left fuming. This guy dared to refuse the goddess's invitation? Unforgivable. He's really cold-blooded. Goddess. I am willing to form a team with you. And you. And you. The enemy I summoned was just a turtle. I am willing to team up with you. No need. Lu Nuyen said, clearly frustrated. At first, she had seen me as a pitiful prisoner. So she came to offer to take me to the promotion. Who would have thought I would be so arrogant and unreasonable? After I rejected everyone, Lu Nuyen was speechless. Her face red with anger. Do you want to be promoted? Fine. Let's compare who can promote faster. She stormed off and entered the department for new students, choosing the single system. Meanwhile, after passing through the beam of light, I suddenly found myself in a vast forest. Right away, I summoned a dragon from the wild space. At that moment, a wild pig appeared before me. With a roar, the dragon obeyed my command, flew toward me, and then leapt like a lightning bolt, killing the pig in an instant. Level 2. Experience plus 30. I checked the experience bar. Level 1. Experience 0.66%. Just then, the dragon spotted another monster and flew to attack again. It killed a tiger. Level 1. Experience plus 10. Then it killed another tiger. Level 3. Experience plus 50. All the monsters we encountered were swiftly dealt with by the dragon, with no need for me to use any skills. I, the owner of the dragon, followed behind. Although the experience gain was slow, I still felt the steady increase. My goal was Thien Long Academy, the #1 school. I quickly checked the system. Energy, 10/100ths. Number of dragons, 1/3. I could summon 2 more monsters. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough energy. Each time I used the summoning skill, it cost 100 energy. And the energy recovery was very slow, only 10 natural recovery points per day. From what I knew, energy could only be replenished through spirit. But for someone like me, with almost no resources, that was not an option. Just then, a sudden announcement caught my attention. Kill the wild pig. Level 5. Experience plus 100. Spirit X1. A wild pig. Level 5. Dropped Spirit X2. I looked around and spotted a white stone lying in a cave, with a wrinkled face beside it. Seeing it, I felt a bit sad. The scent was so fragrant. Without hesitation, I used the spirit. My energy was now full, so I immediately used the summoning skill. A black swirl appeared before my eyes, accompanied by a low, deep roar. From the swirl emerged a yellow beast with a turtle-like head and tail, and spikes on its back. At the same time, its attributes appeared on the information board in front of me. It was another sulfur monosulfide class beast. Although its attributes weren't as impressive as the sulfur monosulfide class dragon, it had high defense and thick skin. It also had the abilities to counterattack and provoke, making it a powerful opponent for attracting monsters and dealing damage. At that moment, the dragon roared, activating its provocation ability. Immediately, all the monsters within a 20-meter radius charged toward it, attacking furiously. The dragon, surrounded by a mass of monsters, used its skills to fight back. Defeat a level 4 forest wolf. Experience plus 80. Defeat a level 3 snake. Experience plus 50. Defeat a level 7 dog. Experience plus 120. My experience bar shot up rapidly. Compared to just having the dragon fight alone, the leveling speed was now much faster. However, the only drawback was that the monsters I fought had a higher level than the 15-level beast. Even if they were defeated, I wouldn't gain any experience from them. This made me reconsider my plan to defeat a level 10 monster right away. It seemed the best strategy was to target monsters under level 6 to maximize the experience gains. Meanwhile, at the Temple of the Buddha, a group of elders were discussing who had summoned the dragon. Just then, a staff member from the temple hurriedly ran in. Knock knock. Great elders. Not good. There's a new summoning item at the Temple of the Buddha. What? A new summoning item? What level is it? A group of elders immediately stood up from their chairs. It should be known that, normally, even if a summoner has a high summoning level, the summons they can call are limited to those recorded in the Temple of the Buddha. In other words, The hundreds of summoning items in the temple are the stock of all the great monks. This has led to the issue where, for many years, no one in the temple has been able to summon an exceptionally strong summoner. This is because the ancient civilization of the temple was broken, and most of the summoning items in the temple have records of only weaker summons. Therefore, the limited range of summoning items restricts the power of the summons that a summoner can call. But yesterday, a new sulfur monosulfide level dragon summoning item appeared in the temple. And just a day later, another new summoning item appeared. How could this happen? How could it not shock the great elders? The temple staff hurriedly reported. The sulfur monosulfide level dragon summoning item has increased by 500 power points. All the great elders were shocked. However, the next words from the staff left them even more stunned. According to our data analysis, these two powerful summoning items seem to have been summoned by the same new summoner who hasn't even reached level 10 yet. What? Not yet level 10, but from the same person? The great elders were left speechless. The great elders were shocked for their own reasons. It should be noted that before a summoner reaches level 20, it's absolutely impossible to summon a second summoner. But according to the temple staff, this reincarnation summoner had completely ignored the summoner's usual rules. With a level not yet reaching 10, they had summoned two powerful sulfur monosulfide level creatures. Moreover, these creatures were entirely new to the temple, never before recorded in the temple's history. Who would believe this? After a moment of stunned silence, a group of the elders calmed down and began to discuss. Who is this reincarnation? What identity does this person have? Who knows? But based on the current situation, it's highly likely that this is a senior high school student. Among the tens of thousands of senior high school students from the 13 provinces across the country, there are only 3 sulfur monosulfide level summoners. We've conducted a thorough investigation. It's a pity that none of them match. At this point, the elders were almost beside themselves with frustration, dreaming of uncovering the treasure behind this extraordinary summoner. Just then, someone spoke up. Could it be Duong Pham, the one who lit up the 12 sulfur monosulfide level suns? He is also an sulfur monosulfide level summoner. But it's impossible. While his summoner image is indeed exaggerated, summoning such a powerful creature is beyond belief. Even if he's a god, how could a reincarnation summon such powerful beings? Like the dragon and dragon queen? It's simply incomprehensible. At that moment, at the gates of Tabac City, a group of teachers had gathered. Among them was Tathin Kwok, another high school teacher. Old too. This year's class is really exceptional. One of them remarked. It was said that he had summoned a genius. Someone passionate about summoning gods. And sulfur monosulfide level summoner. But is it true? Tathin Kwok, upon hearing this, felt his face redden, and he sighed deeply. Oh, what a passionate genius. But summoners can't summon other summoners. At that moment, a teacher approached Tathin Kwok and said, Old too, I just heard a student say that Duong Pham seems to be coming here. Everyone was shocked. What? Duong Pham is coming? But a fundamental summoner can't summon another summoner. What's he doing here? Yes. The gate just opened, and he came right in. I heard a student say he seems to be able to summon a summoner. Can summon a summoner? What kind of summoner can summon another summoner? Is he a book with 2 legs? Ha ha ha. As the female teacher explained, everyone immediately burst into laughter and mockery. Tathin Kwok's face grew tense, and he struggled to breathe. It seemed like Duong Pham still hadn't calmed down. But what disappointed them was that, at the gate for the new arrivals, I was in a hurry to upgrade. At that moment, a yellow dog appeared before me, a light ring glowing under its feet. I quickly activated the skill to spy on it. Then, Truck Long didn't wait for me to give the order. He rushed toward me, hurriedly. Repeatedly, over and over again. His movements were so fast, as if he were flying toward me without hesitation. The teachers, seeing the rush, immediately recognized the person as Lu Qinhua and quickly ran forward. President Lu, come and see the achievements of your daughter today. The copy is not over yet. Wait a minute, what do you need to see with Lu Nuyen's talent and persuasion? It's definitely the best. People were stunned by Lu Qinhua's words, deliberately steering the conversation toward Lu Nuyen. Just then, at the exit of the copy for new students, a bright white light suddenly appeared. A shadow of a person emerged from the light. Some of the teachers didn't even recognize who the student was and began yelling at him. The principal shouted, "Why is he coming out first? That's right. He's not famous for being a genius at seducing girls. Why is it you?" However, as soon as they saw that the person who stepped out was Duong Pham, everyone fell silent. Duong Pham's voice was hoarse, and the air around him seemed heavy with tension. At that moment, they were all truly embarrassed. Duong Pham had made a mistake. After that, To Thien Quoc, slightly suspicious, asked, "Duong Pham, why did you step out first?" There was only an hour left for the new version to finish. Not only To Thien Quoc but everyone else also seemed puzzled by my actions. "Teacher, I don't know either," I responded. "When I was playing chess, the system suddenly notified me that I was out, then forced me to step out. At this point, I was just as confused. I had been struggling to reach level 5, and I was on the verge of reviving a level 10 monster to level up. Yet, I had no idea where a level 10 monster with a ring under its feet had come from." After a brief moment of hesitation, I was immediately replaced by the new version. When I explained this, the first reaction from everyone was disbelief. "What? You haven't even been in the copy for a full day? How can that be?" "That's right. While the monsters in the copy are weak for a newbie, the final boss is still level 10. Wait, you're level 5? It was then that they noticed my level had risen to level 5. Seeing this, Trong Quoc Phu, Lu Nuyen's head teacher, hurried over and asked, "Duong Pham, your monster isn't just a monster, is it? A book star? How did you get to level 5 so quickly? What did you summon?" "Master Trong, what did you summon?" I began to answer, but I was interrupted by To Thien Quoc. "Duong Pham, I've been writing all day. I'm very tired. Go home and rest." To Thien Quoc finished speaking and immediately looked at Trong Quoc Phu. "Yes, I thank you." Seeing this, I responded with a polite nod and turned to leave. Trong Quoc Phu, standing next to me, looked incredibly confused. According to the rules of the university examiners, before the university exam, the type and grade of the examiners were not allowed to be disclosed by newly awakened examiners. This was to prevent misuse. After I left, the teachers present felt deeply embarrassed. Before, they had all praised Lu Nuyen as a talented and passionate genius to win Lu Qinhua's favor. Now, the copy hadn't even finished, and they had been proven wrong. To lessen the embarrassment, Lu Qinhua took the initiative to speak up. "Mr. Tu, look at this year's class. There really is a talented and passionate genius here. Congratulations, congratulations." To Thien Quoc quickly responded. "President Lu is too kind. Duong Pham has only awakened the persuader. How can he be considered a talented and passionate genius?" In truth, he was just as confused. To him, even if my persuader was a god barely able to summon a beast, the grade must not be higher than grade 1. Yet here I was, the first to destroy the copy. And I had reached level 5 when there was only 1 hour left before the copy ended. This was simply unbelievable. If Duong Pham isn't considered a genius, then none of the new students in the city of Tabac deserve to be called passionate geniuses anymore. Lu Qinhua thought. From what I knew, in recent years, the only person at the university who had managed to destroy the copy for new students on the first day was Duong Bang, a genius from last year. She had barely killed the final boss just 2 minutes before the end of the copy. Duong Pham, however, destroyed it 1 hour earlier. It was too obvious. Lu Qinhua, as the president of the city of Tabac, still had his doubts. Deep down, he couldn't accept my speed in completing the copy. At the same time, Lu Qinhua was also very curious about what results my summoning had produced. Obviously, it was the Conqueror, so why was my upgrade speed so high? An hour later, the copy time for the new students ended, and the students entered the copy one by one. Lu Nuyen, a level 4 goddess, was very intrigued by the progress. Thanks to her powerful summon, she had killed more than 5 monsters before the end of the copy. She believed that tomorrow she would definitely reach level 6. After leaving the copy, the first thing Lu Nuyen did was look for me. She wanted to see how many levels I could reach in one day. But Lu Nuyen couldn't find me. This made her frustrated. The goddess was quite irritated. She had reached level 4. While my summon was only level C even though I had only reached level 2. Her level C summon couldn't compare to mine. My summon is level B, she muttered. It doesn't need to be just level 2. The students at levels 2 and 3 saw that Lu Nuyen had reached level 4 and were amazed, admiring her and flattering her. But Lu Nuyen wasn't paying attention to their praises. She was still looking for me. The students quickly realized that Lu Nuyen was looking for someone. They thought back to how I had rejected her invitation, which had made her lose face. A group of students started gossiping, making me the center of attention. Hey, did you hear? Duong Pham, that monster's name, seems to never go out. It seems like it's true. The monster's name must have been killed by the monster in the copy. It's very likely, one student added, though the monster in the copy isn't very strong for newcomers. If you can't recover from the poison it gives, you're done. At that moment, Lu Qinhua approached, looking at Lu Nuyen with a concerned expression. He asked, "What are you looking for?" "Dad, I'm looking for the name of that monster," Lu Nuyen replied. Her words made the students' faces change. They were taken aback. "Actually, it's all been said," she added, with a hint of irritation. Trong Quoc Fu, with a red face, hurried forward, worried. "What are you looking for the name of that monster for?" The other teachers were also curious and raised their hands, eager to know what she meant. "Mr. Trong, this morning when I arrived here, I saw Duong Pham being chased by a group of girls. So I took the initiative to ask him to team up with me to lead him to the copy. Who would have thought that he had clearly awakened as an adventurer? It made me really curious." Lu Nuyen recounted everything that happened that morning, including what happened before entering the copy. She explained that she had wanted to compare who could complete it faster. Trong Quoc Fu, after hearing Nuyen's explanation, became more and more confused. He wanted to tell her the truth, but he was afraid it would hurt her self-esteem. Lu Qinhua, who was next to him, spoke calmly. "Duong Pham, the one you mentioned, broke the copy and left an hour ago." "What? An hour ago he went out? How could that be?" Lu Nuyen was confused, her eyes wide with disbelief. Not only her, but the students around her also laughed at me for being a monster in the copy. That's right, I had already reached level 5. All the teachers in the copy had witnessed me breaking the copy an hour ago. Lu Qinhua looked at the girl, sighed. He knew this result would definitely affect Nuyen's self-esteem. But he also knew that growing up required facing certain challenges. Breaking the copy an hour ago. Reaching level 5, how could that be? Nuyen stood there, looking stunned, her beautiful eyes full of disbelief. The students around her also felt awkward, realizing they had misjudged me. Before, she had been so sure of herself. Now, she was lost for words. The next morning, I woke up early to enter the copy for new students. My goal today was to reach level 7. With 5 days remaining, getting to level 10 wouldn't be a problem. At first, I thought I had arrived early enough. But when I got to the copy gate, I realized there were many students gathered there. They were chatting, but when they saw me, they fell silent. Everyone was staring at me. In level 5 already? He really reached level 5 on the first day of the copy? Oh my god, what did he do? Could it be that his seductive abilities have become supercharged? That's the only explanation for this. At that moment, the girls from yesterday, who had pretended not to like me, were now surrounding me. "Duong Pham Kaka, you got promoted so quickly. I'm only in level 2. Can you take me to level 7? Duong Pham Kaka, can you team up with me? I don't have a boyfriend yet. Who will take me to level 7? I'll be that girl's boyfriend." Lu Nuyen arrived and saw the scene unfolding before her. She bit her lip. This girl really reached level 5. Why didn't she team up with me yesterday? It's disgusting. At that moment, Lu Nuyen noticed the copy gate was about to open. She took a deep breath and walked toward the gate. I glanced at the girls around me, speechless. Without saying anything, I stepped into the copy gate and chose the single mode. Once inside the new student copy, I didn't hesitate. I headed straight to the monster area for the 10th grade. Yesterday, I had accidentally killed the 10th grade boss. But I was kicked out before the copy ended. Today, I was determined to stay until the new copy gate closed and defeat the new 10th grade boss. Meanwhile, Trong Quoc Fu, who was standing nearby, asked, "Old Trong, my eyesight is poor. Can you help me figure out what grade Duong Pham is in?" The emperor, observing me from afar, waved his hand, signaling for the Chinese teacher to respond. The teacher, composed and calm, replied, "This is too much. How did this kid rise so fast? 2 days to reach level 7? This has never happened in the history of our university." Wait, another teacher corrected. Not 2 days, only an hour and 30 minutes left until the end of the new copy. Oh my god, the group of teachers exclaimed. Seeing that I had already reached level 7, meeting the standard of university-level students. They were so shocked that they considered resigning. At that moment, everyone began to suspect that my so-called refusal to team up was just a cover. It was clear that my refusal was fueling an intense hatred from others. How else could I explain my progress in just a day? Reaching level 7? The teachers, distracted by their surprise, didn't notice how well I was handling everything. At first, they thought I had merely awakened the refusal skill, and that my future would be bright. Little did they know, I was excelling far beyond their expectations. Inside, I felt pride swell. Just then, Thien Quoc came over to me and asked, "Duong Pham, why did you leave so early?" I responded nonchalantly, "Oh, teacher too. I accidentally killed the last boss." Da Nhan Vong. In the distance, the teachers were up in arms. Accidentally killed? Is he deliberately humiliating us? Is he showing off? They murmured. Furious. This is too much. Ha ha ha. It's okay. It's okay. Come back tomorrow. But don't be the first one to leave every day. It's okay to be a little late. Your level is higher than the other students. But if you're always the first to leave, it will seriously affect the confidence of the others. At that moment, Thien Quoc laughed so hard that it seemed like his mouth might burst. The teachers in the distance heard his laughter and were so embarrassed they felt like falling to the ground. Listen, this is what people say. Listen, he continued, still laughing. I'm serious. I said, "Teacher too, please pay attention." Then, I said what was on my mind. "But I want to ask for your permission to join the advanced class tomorrow." What? You want to go to the advanced class? Thien Quoc was shocked. As though he had heard wrong. Yes, that's right, I confirmed, nodding firmly. Thien Quoc was silent for a moment. Then spoke. I didn't agree right away. Duong Pham, the advanced class is completely different from the new student class. The monsters there not only have a terrible temper, but they are also extremely dangerous. If you make even a small mistake, you could lose your life. Your performance is already excellent. You're in level 7. Even if the remaining 5 days before the university exam, you stayed at home sleeping. With your current level, it's more than enough to meet the university's standards. I really don't want you to join the advanced class. Thien Quoc took a deep breath. Then tried to advise me. The advanced class for new students is just for third-year students who have just awakened. It's meant to help them get used to fighting monsters. But the advanced class you're asking about, deep in the wilderness, is very different. There, in addition to the usual monsters, there are spirits that appear by chance at corresponding levels. That's incredibly dangerous. Even normal adventurers face it and don't get a chance to escape. As to Thien Quoc's student, he certainly didn't want me to take such a risk. Mr. Tu, I'm sorry, I said, I have to join the advanced class. Why? He asked, clearly puzzled. Because I want to take the exam at Thien Long University. I said, what? You want to take the exam at Thien Long University? Thien Quoc was shocked by my words. Not just him, but all the other teachers were equally shocked. Thien Long University? Yes, I replied. I promised Bang T last year that I would definitely take the exam at Thien Long University to find T. Thien Quoc paused, then sighed. All right, if you're set on it. Then go ahead. But when you enter Hang Nen, You have to be extremely careful. If you encounter any danger, don't risk your life. Withdraw immediately. He laughed and sighed again. At first, he had hoped that I could just make it into any university. Who would have thought my target would be Thien Long University, the #1 school? Thank you, Mr. Tu. I'll remember it well, I said, bowing my head as I turned to leave. Not long after I left, the exam ended. Oh my god. Lun Yuyen stepped out. Looking tired. She had been searching for me. But like yesterday, she couldn't find me, so she went to Trung Quoc Phu, the head teacher, and asked, "Teacher, where is Duong Pham? Did he leave again today?" "Nguyen, you've shown your excellence. It's something to be proud of. But don't underestimate that bastard. He doesn't deserve it," Trung Quoc Phu responded. Looking at his expression, Lun Yuyen already had an answer in her heart. Why does he leave the board every day? Is he trying to avoid me? Taking a deep breath, she asked, "Teacher, what grade is he in?" Trung Quoc Phu hesitated a bit before answering. Level 7. Moreover, tomorrow he will go to Hang Nien board for promotion. Don't underestimate him. Lun Yuyen's face changed immediately upon hearing this. He wants to take the exam at University #1, this bastard. Earlier, when she had asked him which school he was aiming for, he had refused to say. She looked at Trung Quoc Phu and then told him, "Teacher, I also ask for permission to go to Hang Nien board for promotion tomorrow." "What, you want to go too?" Trung Quoc Phu asked, surprised. "No, you're only level 6. It's too hasty. I can't agree to that." "Teacher, although I'm only level 6, I have a strong desire to improve. Please, just let me go. I'll be careful," Lun Yuyen insisted, using her charm and super skills to convince him. Trung Quoc Phu, exhausted by her persistence, finally agreed without fully realizing how he'd been persuaded. However, even though he agreed to let Lun Yuyen go to Hang Nien board for promotion tomorrow, he still had to call Lu Qinhua to ask for permission. If something happened to Nguyen, as the head teacher, he would be responsible. After saying goodbye to Thien Quoc, I didn't go home right away. Instead, I headed to Tabac Market. The purpose of my visit was to sell the materials I had collected on the board over the past 2 days and to buy a piece of holy stone. Although I could recover 3 animals, my energy wasn't enough, so I could only recover 2, slowing down my leveling speed. Moreover, tomorrow I had to go to Hang Nien Royal Board, which was much more dangerous than the beginner's board. Before going to Hang Nien board, I needed to increase my strength. I sold all my materials, and with the money earned, I bought a piece of holy stone. After leaving the trading market, I headed toward the mission meeting to accept a new mission. Since I was going to Hang Nien Royal Board for promotion, accepting a mission there would allow me to earn additional rewards. Mission: Hang Nien Royal Board 12 goal. Collect poison bags from Boss Nien Tin. Request: difficulty: nightmare level return. Boss finally dropped the poison bag. Reward: 500 gold. Tin weapon X6. After accepting the mission, I went home, took out the holy stone to absorb energy, and then directly used my summoning skill for poison. Along with the familiar black circle, a black ball emerged from it. At the same time, in the temple, deep in the capital, during the dark night, a loud noise suddenly rang out. Immediately after, the entire temple began to shake violently. The white light that flooded the temple blinded the staff, and they couldn't open their eyes. Soon, the poison in the temple was completely eradicated. The sound echoed throughout, and then, a terrifying image appeared, leaving the temple staff frozen with fear. What's happening? What is this situation? In nearly 1,000 years since its establishment, nothing like this has ever occurred. What is going on? The elders in the capital were equally shocked and hurried to the temple. When they arrived at the main hall, they were astounded by the strange sight before them. Look at that, a new poison has appeared. Someone gasped. As they stared, a powerful poison appeared atop the staff. What shocked everyone most was that the poison's image was even higher than the SSS cup. A new SSS cup poison appeared, with an additional 1.500 points. A ray of yellow light flashed, and the poison's value on the stone increased by 1.500 points. Again, a new SSS cup poison appeared, adding another 1.500 points. This image left the elders speechless, their jaws dropping in disbelief. Just then, a staff member shuddered and spoke. "Elders, there's something I don't know if I should say." "Speak," came the low, commanding voice of the elder at the top. According to the latest data analysis from the temple, this third SSS cup poison is still at a level that hasn't been reached yet. The staff member said. Before he could finish, the elder suddenly went blank in the eyes, fainting on the spot. Elder, hurry, get the heart medicine. Give me 2 doses. I feel like I'm going to collapse," someone cried out. After seeing the new SSS cup poison, my mind was filled with a single thought. Of course, it's worthy of the name of the god of war. These poisons are even stronger than the first SSS cup I summoned. Sun High King was truly a priceless treasure, containing records of ancient SSS cups. The next day, after I woke up, I immediately headed to the south gate of Tabak City. Using the teleportation method at the gate, I reached the entrance to Hang Nen Hall. Hang Nen Hall is the 12th level of the Underworld Hall. The biggest difference compared to the Beginner's Hall was that Hang Nen Hall had difficult choices before entry: easy, hard, and nightmare. Moreover, even if there was a final boss, you wouldn't be kicked out immediately, you could continue leveling up. The scariest part of it all was that the Underworld Hall also featured the appearance of Ta Lin. Ta Lin wasn't just a normal monster, they had giant bodies and were extremely terrifying. Once a Ta Lin appeared on the map, the hunter had to kill it within the specified time. If not, the fate of the Underworld Hall would become distorted and reduced. Fate represents the destiny of the country, and if it's reduced too much, the consequences would be catastrophic. That thought immediately reminded me of the request from yesterday's mission, so I decided to choose the nightmare level. As soon as I entered Hang Nen Hall, I encountered a giant spider that looked like a baby in front of me. I quickly summoned the 3 beasts and immediately used the ability to spy on the giant spider. After inspecting the characteristics of the warrior spider, I didn't need to boast. The monsters in Hang Nen Hall were much stronger than those in the beginner's area. The attributes of this normal warrior spider alone were much higher than the final boss from the beginner's spider copy. But fortunately, it was still no match for my 3 beasts. I immediately gave the order to Hing Thien. "Kill it." Hing Thien obeyed, charging forward with a large spear, moving at an incredibly fast speed. With a swift strike, the spear came down, and there was a loud crack as the warrior spider's head was severed. The blue liquid sprayed everywhere. Kill the warrior spider. Level 10. Experience plus 600. Received the X1 certificate. I didn't stop there. I quickly controlled my 3 beasts to move forward to a more concentrated monster area. Upon arrival, the spider activated its provocation skill. Immediately, all the monsters within a 20-meter radius rushed towards it. Kill the blue liquid spider. Level 10. Experience plus 550. Received the X1 certificate. Kill the warrior spider. Level 11. Experience plus 650. Received the X1 certificate. Kill the warrior spider. Level 11. Experience plus 600. Received the X1 certificate. At this point, the 3 beasts worked together flawlessly, taking down monsters left and right, especially Hing Thien, who wielded a large spear like a true warrior. With each strike, it was as if the spear turned into a net, and the damage was even greater than what the entire cage could produce. Seeing this, I didn't hesitate. I considered that as long as my 3 beasts leveled up and matured, they would be unstoppable in any copy. My experience began to increase rapidly. In just half a day, I had reached level 8, twice as fast as I had leveled up in the beginner's copy yesterday. After reaching level 8, I directed the 3 beasts to venture deeper into the cave, aiming to kill the level 12 monsters to maximize the experience. However, at that moment, a green poisonous needle suddenly flew toward me. I didn't have time to dodge, and it hit me, but instead of being injured, I saw Long Kai in the distance roaring in pain as it was hit. I quickly looked up and saw blood running down its body, it was clearly injured. I immediately used my peeping skill to investigate the source of the attack. It turned out to be the boss. Nyat Tin. I realized that I had accidentally entered the boss area of this floor, which was why Nyat Tin had attacked me. At that moment, I didn't need to hesitate. The cave was dangerous, but luckily, the beasts I summoned could bear the responsibility of their master. If not, just one poisonous needle would have been enough to send me straight to the afterlife. Without wasting time, I cast a spell for Truck Long. Truck Long, kill it. Truck Long heard the command, growled, and immediately charged. Nyat Tin was swiftly killed. Kill Nyat Tin. Level 13. Experience plus 1200. Receive the X1 Nyat Tin leg. The mission item, Poison Bag. The equipment of X1 normal Nyat Tin. And the Nyat Tin mask, Nyat Tin 6X1. Looking at the data on the information board, I didn't need to boast. But Nyat Tin, as a boss, had a really high drop rate. However, most of the equipment wasn't particularly useful to me, and I could only sell it for money once I left. The Nyat Tin mask, on the other hand, was a valuable item. Not only did it increase my spirit, but it also helped my soul-tearing skill generate more power. Additionally, it had a 2x specialty every day. This was the ultimate equipment for taking down robbers and seducing beautiful girls. Most importantly, I could equip it right away. Without hesitation, I put the Nyat Tin mask on. At that moment, Long Kai in the distance made a weak sound. I turned and saw that its wound was quite serious. There was no need to think twice. If Nyat Tin's poisonous needle had hit Long Kai directly, with its high defense, it wouldn't have been so badly injured. However, since the attack was redirected to Long Kai, thanks to the robber's characteristic, it was seriously wounded. I would need to find some decent defense equipment for Long Kai. Without it, the poison from the robber could cause real problems. Afterward, I took Long Kai into the robber's space to let it rest. Truck Long and Hing Thien continued to defeat the robbers. However, since Long Kai didn't have the provocation skill, the effectiveness of Truck Long and Hing Thien's attacks was significantly reduced. A day passed quickly, and since reaching level 8 required double the experience for the next upgrade, by the time I was kicked out at the end of the copy, I had only reached level 8 with 55% of the required experience. After leaving, I immediately went to the mission meeting to submit my completed mission. Upon submission, I received 500 gold and a spiritual scroll that increased my spiritual attributes. With this scroll, my soul-tearing skills power could be increased. But since I still plan to return to the level 8 copy tomorrow, I began looking for new missions related to it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any. At that moment, a new mission titled The Heart of Taiyang appeared in front of me. Mission. Level 8 copy. Level 12. Goal. Collect the Heart of Taiyang. Request. Nightmare difficulty. Reward. 1.000 gold. 1 spiritual scroll. Seeing this mission, I was immediately excited. Initially, I had been worried about how to upgrade enough to summon the scroll. Who would have thought that the mission Taiyang's heart would reward me with a spiritual scroll? However, Taiyang was different from the normal monsters in the copy. They were incredibly strong. Even in the level 8 copy, normal monsters wouldn't be able to handle them. I hesitated for a while in front of the mission board, but in the end, I couldn't resist the intense emotion that the spirit monster stirred in me. I gritted my teeth and accepted the Taiyang's heart mission. After that, I intended to head to the trading market to sell all the materials and equipment I had collected that day. Although selling them like this would be a bit underpriced, it was necessary. Just as I was about to take the heart scroll out of the system to sell at the market, a scent of incense wafted toward me, followed by a voice saying, "My brother is here to sell equipment. Do you have any good equipment for me?" Right after that, a girl with an incredibly attractive figure appeared in front of me. Her fiery red hair seemed to glow as a pair of red-haired monsters suddenly appeared. I was taken aback and stepped back a few paces, my face turning red. Despite that, I tried to keep my composure and told her seriously, "Your actions are very dangerous." "Hee hee, my handsome brother is like that," she teased. her voice playful. Even if you have a little bit of flesh. If you eat tofu, I won't hold it against you. Her sparkling eyes made my heart tremble. But before I could respond, I suddenly felt two sharp eyes, like daggers, piercing into me. A cold sensation ran through my body, making me instinctively tense up. I quickly raised my head, and my expression immediately changed. Standing before me, with eyes that seemed to be ready to kill me, was someone who looked like she was at peace. I didn't have time to figure out why she suddenly appeared. All I could see was her dark eyebrows, her deep skin tone, and her intense gaze. It gave me an uneasy feeling. At that moment, I just wanted to quickly sell my stuff and go home. After recovering from the initial shock of the piercing gaze, I turned back to the beautiful girl and said, "Hey, stop joking. I'm a serious person. I came to the market to sell my equipment and materials. What are you interested in buying?" "Of course, I've met such a handsome brother," she replied, completely unfazed. "How could I not buy your equipment?" The beautiful girl paid no attention to my words and kept acting as she had been. But her intense gaze was starting to make me feel the pressure. It wasn't long before I realized why her eyes were so fierce. It was making me nervous. Trying to regain control of the situation, I pointed to the flashlight in my hand and said, "Hey, look at this flashlight first. See how much you're willing to pay for it. Oh, and by the way, I still have a lot of materials collected from the cave. Do you want to buy them?" "Wow, your equipment is so good," she said, shocked. "The boss would be mad at you." Her beautiful eyes seemed to glisten with admiration, making me both nervous and somewhat afraid. At the same time, Lun Yuyen was standing not far off. Observing, she took a deep breath and walked toward me. As she steadily approached, I couldn't continue pretending I hadn't noticed her. Feeling shy, I said, "Good evening, Lun Yuyen." Unexpectedly, she ignored me. The cold, arrogant goddess didn't even acknowledge my presence, as if I were invisible, and simply walked past me. But just when I thought nothing had happened, Lun Yuyen suddenly kicked me in the butt as she walked by. I let out a frustrated sigh and took a deep breath, still bewildered by her actions. What's wrong with her? Why is she so hot-tempered? Well, I decided not to care about her anymore. After all, her father is the president of the Association of Martyrs, so I couldn't interfere. I turned my attention back to the beautiful girl in front of me. I learned that her name was Jiang Tunhu, and she was a member of the Association for the Purchase of Equipment and Materials. Jiang Tunhu offered a higher price than the trading market, so I immediately agreed to sell all my equipment and materials to her. We exchanged contact information, and I promised that next time I collected materials, I would sell them to her again. After selling everything, I made a little bit of money. With that little bit of money, I convinced Jiang to buy 2 more bricks from me. The next stop was Hang Nyat to hunt Tai Wang. I knew I had to be prepared for how strong Tai Wang was. The following morning, I woke up as usual and went to Hang Nyat to collect bricks. Not long after I arrived, I encountered a monster even stronger than the Nyat Vu Su. After finishing the collection, I immediately ordered Truck Long to attack. Nyat Vu Su. Level 12. Experience plus 1000. Receive the Nyat Vu Su. Not bad, a pair of shoes that could suck blood dropped. But they were only wearable by level 10 players. For me, they had no use at the moment. Time passed quickly, and by midday, I was getting close to level 9. Just as I thought I was about to level up, I suddenly heard an eerie sound. Moments later, a giant black ball appeared at the end of Hang Nyat. Tai Wang had appeared. I quickly used my scouting skill to assess Tai Wang. Upon seeing its body, I realized that Tai Wang was only level 10, but it had a terrifying aura. It was a massive creature. And even Hing Thien, my highest SSS hunter, couldn't compare to Tai Wang in terms of power. At this time, Hing Thien and Long Kai also arrived. Long Kai activated the provocation skill, immediately drawing Tai Wang's attention. Then, Long Kai activated the defensive piercing ability, which reduced the damage by 30%. Hing Thien launched an attack, landing a direct hit. Truck Long moved around to support with long-range attacks. But despite their combined efforts, the monster's strength was overwhelming. My own role was to stay back, keeping my distance from the heat of the battle. After a long fight, Tai Wang was finally exhausted. It retreated and turned towards me. Its massive body struck the ground with such force that the cave shook. I took a deep breath and spoke up. Receive the X2 spirit. Receive the seal of the heart of the highest. Receive the single sword of the single sword. Receive the shield of the single sword. The single sword equipment set dropped. And it was quite valuable. The most significant part of it was that the single sword set retained a divine characteristic, which could restore any energy that had been exhausted. It was like a mobile treasure chest. And all the dropped equipment had exceptional value. Although each restoration only gave 1 point, if the divine effect stacked multiple times, it could save a lot of money that would otherwise be spent on buying spirit items. I was at level 9 now, and I saw that the 3 beasts were injured. I put them into the space to let them rest and recover. After that, I left the cave and went home to relax. Once home, I slept deeply and peacefully. Lately, I had been under constant tension, worried that something would go wrong. I couldn't reach level 10 before the college entrance exam. I didn't have the necessary conditions to meet the standards of students applying to Thien Long University, the #1 university. But now, just 4 days later, I was at level 9. In the remaining 3 days, even if I had to crawl, I could still reach level 10 before the college entrance exam. That gave me some peace of mind. The other half of my worries could only be resolved once the entrance exam passed. Reaching level 10 was just a prerequisite for Thien Long University. Whether I could be accepted or not depended on the results of the national college entrance exam. However, I believed that with my passion for my country and my own talent, getting into Thien Long University with excellent grades was a sure thing. I slept until the evening before I woke up. Then I immediately went to the assignment meeting to submit my assignment. How can the astrologer upgrade the astrologer to be summoned? I thought, as I looked at the astrologer in my hand. Excitement building up. How can I upgrade the astrologer's properties and awaken new skills? I tried to find the motivation to summon the astrologer immediately, hurriedly bringing the treasure home. But just as I turned to leave the assignment meeting, suddenly a shadow approached, and boom, my face hit a soft wall. Then, I heard the voice of the astrologer. Oh, my poor little brother, what did you do to me? Tell me quickly, did you eat my tofu on purpose? You're so bad. The astrologer continued. I'm sorry. I was in a hurry and didn't see you. I absolutely didn't mean to touch you, let alone eat your tofu. After realizing the person I had bumped into was the astrologer, I let out a breath of relief. Fortunately, I know her. If it had been anyone else, I would have probably been arrested. But the astrologer wasn't as easy to appease as I imagined. I don't believe you didn't eat my tofu, she said, so you have to take responsibility for me. She moved toward me, seemingly expecting me to take responsibility. I was shocked and quickly backed away. Don't joke around, I said, startled by her reaction. You're just a poor, desperate person. You can't take responsibility. Jiang Tunhu teased. Then, I remembered what she had said yesterday, and hurriedly responded, Wait, yesterday, you also said that even if I ate your tofu, I wouldn't need to take responsibility. Tunhu, don't joke around, it hurts, I added, trying to maintain some semblance of seriousness. Before I could finish, Jiang Tunhu was already getting angry. You're disappointing me, my brother. Yesterday, you said I didn't need to take responsibility and could eat my tofu whenever you wanted. I looked at her with a nervous smile. Tunhu, I didn't really mean it. Jiang Tunhu glared at me, her eyes fierce as if she wanted to eat me alive. Don't think you're a little handsome and I won't hit you. Say it. Are you going to take responsibility or not? At that moment, looking at her arrogant expression, I couldn't help but burst into tears. Now all the girls are so active and enthusiastic. Like stars. Later, I thought, Jiang Hoi really needs to protect himself. Trying to change the subject, I asked, Tunhu, do you have any extreme equipment you want to sell to me? Her expression shifted. And she responded, "Huh, my brother is disappointing. If it's not extreme equipment. Then, wait, Tai Wang fell out?" At first, Jiang Tunhu seemed ready to get angry again. But when she saw the equipment I had taken out, her eyes widened in shock. "Shush. Quiet. What are you doing? Don't let anyone hear," she whispered urgently. I was startled and quickly covered her mouth. But her loud scream had already attracted the attention of a few other volunteers in the mission. I hurriedly pulled her aside. "Away from the others. This is really the equipment you used to break the evil hand, isn't it?" Jiang Tunhu asked. Pulling away from me, her face showed a mix of shock and disbelief. "You're only level 9, and you have this much power? How could you possibly break such a powerful evil hand? Sister Tunhu, this is really the equipment you used to break the evil hand. Just tell me if it's 2 or not." "2," she answered hurriedly, her eyes flashing with a new intensity. She looked at me differently now, and I couldn't help but feel shocked and slightly humiliated. Her arrogance made me angry, but I couldn't deny the way her eyes glinted with curiosity. The tension was palpable. I said, "Sister Tunhu, don't act like that. You're the one who stood there, watching this whole scene." Jiang Tunhu laughed for a long time, clearly amused. "Look at the stupid look on your face. You can't even eat your own flesh," she teased, making it difficult for me to respond. At this moment, Jiang Tunhu suddenly said, "Help me with something. About what happened today. I won't hold it against you again. But it seems there's still a long way to go." I quickly asked, "What is it?" "I heard there's a level 14 hidden gem copy in Nam Quang. I need you to bring me back the golden gem from there. I want to take the body of Bao Dap," she said, a sly look in her eyes. I protested, "Sister, don't be like that." Jiang Tunhu winked at me. "No need to worry. No need. You're a straightforward person, not the type to back down. Tomorrow, I'll get the golden gem for you." With that, the conversation ended. I was left stunned by her charming eyes. Retreating a few steps to escape her captivating presence, I hurriedly agreed to her request. Then sold all the unused equipment and materials, handing the proceeds over to her. "Silly, shy brother," Jiang Tunhu said, smiling as I ran off. She turned to leave, but neither of us noticed the shadow of a man in a black shirt standing nearby, watching us with a sinister smile. After returning home, I immediately took out the upgraded gem and summoned Hing Thien to upgrade it. A beam of light flashed, blinding my eyes for a moment. Hing Thien had successfully upgraded. I quickly checked the new attributes. The 4 attributes were now comparable to those of the poisonous pig and evil hand I had encountered before. I wondered if the new skill was powerful enough to deal with the evil hands. If so, Hing Thien now had a 15% chance to kill many evil hands. Meanwhile, in the capital's Fate Temple, the stone tablet recording fate showed that Hing Thien's SSS level status had increased to 2 stars. With an additional 500 fate points, the fate could only increase but never decrease in stars. This would be permanent. The Elder Souls, who had been swallowing the water, couldn't calm their hearts due to the curse of their ancestors. 3 SSS level mutants had emerged, and the question remained, which god, with 10 stars a day, had caused Hing Thien's rise from 1 star to 2 stars? However, the crucial thing was that Hing Thien had not reached level 10 yet. "Oh my god," the elder muttered. "I wish we could use 10 years of the Emperor of Japan's reign to exchange for the identity of this ancestor. But there's no clue. All the information on him is shrouded by some super destructive power. We'll have to wait a few more days. If he's really a student of level 3 this year, then in 3 more days, the university will definitely find out who he is." A group of elders, exhausted and helpless, had searched all the high schools across the provinces. Every student who had awakened and received the blessing of the Heavenly King had been investigated. They went through the data one by one, but there was no student who matched the description. The curse had been lifted, and with the characteristics of the 3 SSS level mutants, a terrifying power surged. The stone wall in the temple trembled, a direct result of this curse. It fell upon the elders like a thunderstrike. something that usually calm individuals could not ignore. They were visibly worried, troubled all day long. The next morning, I woke up and immediately set off for Namgao, where there was a geological site. Although Jiangtiu Nhu had given me a map to the site yesterday, it was a hidden copy, so it was relatively secret and difficult to find. I searched for a long time before finally locating the entrance to the geological site. Without hesitation, I stepped through the transition gate at the entrance. As soon as I arrived, I could feel the gloom that hung over the place. The geological site was not only dark but also damp, a harsh and unforgiving environment. However, these factors didn't concern me. I was here with one goal: to take the head of the geological site and bring it back to Jiangtiu Nhu. After advancing for a while, I arrived at the main area of the geological site. The only words I could think of to describe it were, very strong. The creatures here were even more formidable than the ones I encountered in the cave. And definitely stronger than the leader I faced earlier. But for someone like me, a pervert with vast strength, this was barely a challenge. I wasted no time and immediately released the 3 beasts I kept in my space. The dragon was the first to emerge and activated its provocation skill, pulling all the monsters in the area to attract their hatred. Meanwhile, the other 2 beasts, Heaven and Truck Long, took positions. One striking from a distance, the other in close range. Their combination was perfect. After defeating the monsters in the Tin An Class 13 geological site, I received 1300 experience and the item drop. I felt no need to celebrate. This experience was much more than what I had earned from the cave fire. I could feel it. I was on the brink of leveling up to level 10. I didn't stop. Led by my 3 powerful beasts, I continued moving forward. I encountered more monsters from the Tin An Class 13 site, earning 1100 experience each time. Soon after, I entered the Tin An Class 14 site, where the monsters were even stronger. I killed more, earning 1500 experience and 1400 experience for each encounter. The entire journey through the geological site felt like a massacre, a high-level slaughter that was as easy as traveling. This was especially true after my dragon reached 2 stars. Its abilities were raised by a level, which not only increased its speed but also made it more powerful. Now, whenever the dragon struck once, the enemies were defeated even faster. The combination of the dragon's attacks with the super damage ability meant that even monsters with over 1,000,000 health were taken down with a single strike. The only word to describe the result was super strong, however. At this moment, I didn't know that a group of people had arrived. Each of them was wearing a black shirt with a badge on their chest. Among them was one person who stood out, holding a question mark on his badge. His name was clearly unique. The black-shirted boy who had followed me the previous day hurriedly spoke up. Mr. Long, that kid's name is Duong Pham. I saw it with my own eyes. He's level 9 but dared to single-handedly enter the level 14 geological site. There's definitely something dangerous there. Moreover, yesterday at the mission meeting, I also heard he killed the evil hand. With such a unique name and skill, it's clear he's something special. At level 8, 9, or even 10, it's impossible to single-handedly clear a level 14 site. We just need to wait here until he comes out tomorrow. Meanwhile, inside the geological site, I commanded my 3 beasts, who were invulnerable, to clear all the monsters in my path. My experience was rapidly increasing, proving that I was in the right place. The copy of the code in this geological site was a real prize. Breaking through here would give me a great advantage. At my current level, I was confident I could reach level 11 before the university exam. As I approached another geological site, the general came into view. The sky seemed a bit darker, and I couldn't kill the enemy right away, which was unusual. I threw a skill to investigate, and sure enough, I met the boss. As the sky began to darken, I launched my second attack. However, the boss wasn't dead yet. This time, I was really frustrated. How could it take 2 attacks for me to take it down? I gathered my focus for an hour and activated the blood-sucking storm skill. The boss was finally killed. Kill the geological site boss. Experience plus 5,500. Receive the geological site item. I looked at the armor set dropped by the boss with a smile. It was excellent. Before, I had calculated that I'd need some money to buy defensive equipment before the university exam. But now, the geological site boss had thoughtfully dropped it for me. However, I could only equip it once I reached level 10. So I stored the armor in the system for now. I immediately commanded my 3 beasts to continue clearing the site. As the sun began to set, a beam of white light shot up from me, signaling that I had finally reached level 10. After hitting level 10, my 4 beasts gained a significant power boost. Before, their power spirits hadn't exceeded 900. But now, they had increased to 1500. With this newfound strength, I decided not to continue clearing the monsters, but instead made my way directly to the deepest part of the map. I was ready to face the final challenge. Not long after, I found the last boss, the Golden King. I threw a skill to investigate, and its properties appeared before me. Its 4 attributes were like a weakened version of the evil hand. But its skills were still overwhelming. However, my 3 beasts were even stronger. I immediately commanded them to take action, and we prepared for the battle ahead. The scene was set for a fierce battle. I could see the form of the Golden King clearly, but before I could even react, it fell to the ground in less than an hour. Despite the overwhelming strength of my second skill, which was super destructive, the Golden King, with only 15% health left, was taken down almost instantly. To my surprise, a single arrow from my side killed the Golden King. Experience plus 10.000. Received the Golden King's head. Received the Golden Ring. Received 1 Golden King ring. I smirked and muttered, "That's right. I didn't need to look at the others." Even though I didn't know exactly what they were talking about, it was clear they weren't planning anything good. "What's the deal?" I asked, trying to stay calm. "I didn't say anything," one of them replied, but the way they spoke felt off. "Are you in a hurry to steal something?" I pressed. "If you want it, just say it directly." The girls in black laughed as they watched. One of them asked, "What if I don't give it to you?" I was taken aback. "You're talking to me, aren't you?" I said, as I looked at the name tag on their chest. The skin around the name tag was wrinkled. Without warning, he pulled out a stick from his system and aimed it at me. In that moment, I didn't doubt it. If I said anything more, I would definitely be in danger. My eyes darted around, and I looked back at the name tag, silently thinking, "If you want to steal it, I'll give it to you." With that, I reluctantly handed over the stick. I thought this person was brave, but it turned out he was just a coward hiding behind his words. "It's okay," he said, trying to maintain his tough facade. But then, as if out of nowhere, his hair was pulled out. The group of girls in black saw me act quickly and took advantage of the situation to laugh and drink. The name tag guy looked at me with a sinister grin. "Not bad. You figured it out. Now, take the spirit from the person here." I didn't understand what he meant by spirit, but before I could process his words, he smiled coldly. "Keep. Don't pretend to be my wife. You came here in the morning and you're only level 9. At level 9, you dared to read the code and break the level 14 copy. Without the spirit, who would believe that?" At that moment, I finally understood. The real purpose of this group wasn't to talk but to block my path. I smiled and nodded. "Okay, if you want the spirit, I'll give it to you." I immediately began to take out the spirit from my storage. At that moment, the others, including the one with the name tag, all opened their eyes. Tam Lam, who had lost consciousness earlier, now looked down. I saw his face suddenly turn cold, realizing something was about to happen. A surprise attack. "Cone Keep, how dare you steal my stuff," he yelled. "I'll break your arms and legs." "Cone Keep, you want to die?" The name tag guy reacted quickly. He immediately leapt at me. But before he could land a blow, my body vanished in a strange way. "Ha, cut the name tag and change the color," I muttered, but I didn't even have time to finish. A small knife appeared, and before the name tag guy could respond, it slashed his throat. The name tag guy didn't even have time to scream. An hour later, he fell to the ground. At that moment, my body reappeared outside. "Oh no, black shirt hunters," I thought, shocked. I quickly realized what was happening. I was both surprised and frightened. Everyone, summon the hunters. Kill this kid. Avenge Long, one of them shouted. That's right. Even though this kid looks a bit scary. There are so many of us. Let's summon the hunters. He must die. Another added. Before me, more than a dozen massive hunters appeared. This stunned me. The black shirt hunters were extremely excited. One of them shouted, "Hey, kid, are you lying again? There are so many of us. One bird, one bucket of water, and you're done. Ha ha, so what?" I couldn't help but laugh. I immediately summoned the 3 hunters from my space. They gathered together with a loud roar. Long, now much stronger, intimidated the hunters in front of us. They hesitated for a moment, then rushed in. To my shock, I saw 2 SSS-class hunters among the black-shirted hunters. Oh my god, what am I seeing? Am I dreaming? I muttered. Boss, you misunderstood. This is really a misunderstanding. One of the hunters begged. Realizing the situation. A miracle. 3 perverted hunters already summoned. What more could they ask for? What misunderstanding? I snapped. I don't want trouble with you. But you're stealing from me again. Now, get out of here. The name tag guy immediately rushed forward, pulling a large bow at the fastest speed. He fired an arrow at one of my perverted hunters. Piercing it, the hunter was killed instantly. The remaining hunters were so scared they cried and ran, calling for their mothers. But my 3 hunters didn't give them a chance. They chased them down and ended their lives. I stood there, covered in blood, in a state of shock. I couldn't calm down for a long time. This was the first time I had killed someone since growing up. Even though it was just a hunter summoned by me, and the black shirt hunters were different from killing animals, I couldn't help but feel disturbed. After a moment, I calmed down and quickly left the area to avoid drawing attention. I returned to the city. Once home, I handed the bow to Jiang and hurriedly went to rest. However, as soon as I stepped inside, I was surprised when someone tapped me on the shoulder. Instinctively, I turned and grabbed their hand, ready to defend myself. Lu Nhu. Why is it you again? I drew my knife, but before I could strike, I realized that the person behind me was Hua Koi Lu Nhu. What did you do? She asked. I just tapped your shoulder. Why did you react so strongly? Oh, I'm sorry. I frowned, still holding her hand. You hurt me, I said as I realized I was still holding onto her. I hurriedly let go. Lu Nhu shook her head and said, "Why did you avoid me? You deliberately avoided me." I looked at her, confused. I deliberately avoided you? When did I do that? I replied, trying to understand what she meant. I didn't even know. She grew angrier. You're beautiful, but you can't be this unreasonable. When did I avoid your face? I doubted her words and glanced at her, unsure how to react. I tried to push her away and said, "You hurt me." At that moment, I realized I was still holding her hand. Quickly, I hurriedly pushed her away. Lu Nhu shook her hand and asked, "Why did you avoid my face?" I looked at her in confusion and immediately responded, "Intentionally avoid your face? When did I do that? Hua Koi lady? Why didn't I know?" She seemed frustrated. Maybe it wasn't so, I added, trying to reason with her. Lu Nhu got even angrier. Although you're beautiful, it can't be so unreasonable. When did I avoid your face? I hesitated, doubting her words. On the contrary, you didn't avoid my face. So, why didn't you come to hang yachts? I was caught off guard. I didn't come to hang yachts. At that time, I had something to do. I was at a higher level and had more experience. But then, I suddenly remembered something and added, I was actually a Black Cloak envoy. I quickly realized I shouldn't have said that. I couldn't let anyone else know, or I risked being avenged by the Black Cloak. Just then, a terrifying voice echoed in my mind. You're a pervert. You're already level 10, and I'm only level 8. I don't blame you. You wasted a day not going to the office. But you've reached level 10 already. Oh my god, in just 5 days. You've reached level 10. Can you not hurt other people's self-esteem? Can you not make them lose face like that? I was silent for a moment, feeling the weight of what I had done. That's why I'm in such a hurry. I thought. You're lucky. Actually, you're very excellent. But I still don't care. You have to take me to the next level tomorrow. At that moment, it hit me. You need to reach level 10 in 2 days to catch up with Duong Pham. Take me to the next level. Your level isn't high enough. But passing the university entrance exam is enough for me. She added, her voice laced with determination. I want to take the university entrance exam. What if I cut you off? I blinked, realizing how ambitious she was. What? Take the university entrance exam? I asked, surprised. I never expected you to have such big ambitions. I want to take the university entrance exam again. The #1 university in the whole country. Just like me. She looked at me, her eyes unwavering. Duong Pham, she said, a slight blush creeping onto her face. You take care of your own business. I didn't understand girls at all. But I nodded. That's fine. Tomorrow, I'll take you to the next level. If I didn't, Lu Nhuyen wouldn't accept it. I knew I had no choice but to agree. After the appointment, Lu Nhuyen immediately returned home. The next day, I was still asleep when Lu Nhuyen knocked on my door. Duong Pham, it's time to open the copy. I groggily replied. Lu Nhuyen. What time is it? Can't you let me enjoy my beautiful dreams? Lu Nhuyen looked at me. Then smirked. Bother your beautiful dream? Afraid I'm bothering your spring dream? She immediately realized her slip-up and blushed. Hurry up, get up and wash your face. I need 2 more levels. Only 2 days left. I have to take advantage of the time to reach the next level. I rubbed my eyes, trying to shake off the sleep. Don't worry, I'll lead you to the next level. I said. Make sure you'll reach level 10 tomorrow. Lu Nhuyen said, sounding determined. Come on, wait a minute. Who's leading who to the next level? I'm not sure yet, I replied, feeling the tension. After a while, I finished washing my face. And the two of us immediately headed to Hang Yat's office. At first, my plan was to help Lu Nhuyen reach the next level faster. But as I thought about it, I realized that if I took her to the next level, I'd probably end up on some blacklist. Mom keep. Duong Pham, are you dating Lu Nhuyen? Why did she leave your house? When did this start? Why didn't I hear about it at all? I hadn't even made it a few steps when I ran into Lu Duong, a friend of mine. As soon as he saw me walking with Lu Nhuyen, his eyes almost popped out. Mom keep. Shut up, I snapped, trying to keep the situation under control. Lu Nhuyen came to see me early in the morning. Don't talk nonsense. I was visibly confused. Lu Duong, what's wrong with you this time? Why are you saying anything? What if Lu Nhuyen misunderstands? I added, hoping to calm the situation. But Lu Nhuyen's face turned bright red. And she looked a little panicked and embarrassed. She didn't say anything to clarify. And I quickly picked up on her discomfort. I got it, Lu Duong said, rubbing his chin and smiling at me. He even made a face like he was my brother. I understand. No need to explain. I wanted to hit him again. But Lu Nhuyen spoke up. It's time to open the copy. Hurry up. I looked at her, her face still flushed. It felt like it would be easy for others to misunderstand. I sighed and turned to Lu Duong. Lu Duong, let's go. We'll go together. I'll take you to the elevator. You're only in the 5th grade now. It's hard to wake up at a good moment. You don't want to fail the whole university, do you? I added, trying to distract him. Ha ha, thanks. Duong Pham. Lu Duong laughed. No need. I shook my head and firmly replied. You'll make it to level 7 before the university exam. I'm sure of it. Lu Duong, nodding, said, I don't have big ambitions. You can take the university entrance exam if you want. Tomorrow, you just need to go to the elevator with me. I'll go with you, Lu Duong added, looking at Lu Nhuyen with a cold stare. No need to follow me. Lu Nhuyen, however, wasn't having any of it. How dare you cause a scene again? If you don't go, I won't either, she said, her tone sharp. I looked at Lu Nhuyen in surprise. And then I noticed her stare, which made me shiver. I quickly changed my tone. Trying to smooth things over. I mean, you can't leave the middle school. I have to go with Lu Nhu Yen. Well, that's fine, she said, her face softening a bit. Let's go. The three of us talked briefly and then left. Early the next morning, Lu Nhu Yen and I continued our journey to Hang Nyat Ward and Thang Cup. But on the way, I noticed a group of people with gloomy faces. All of them looking pale. When I saw the sign on their backs, my expression didn't change. It was the Black Shirt Association. They had arrived early and were wandering all over the street. What are they up to? I thought, feeling a sense of unease.